See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Tallawah TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Ocean of the Messenger, and you're watching Tallawah TV with the host and best Davis. Take it away.
My Tallawahs, how are you all? How are you doing? How is your evening going? Or should I say, how is your afternoon going? Might be a early morning for some of you. So let me know how you are going. How's your day treating you? Um, yeah, I know I said in our last broadcast that I would be coming back to do a live at some point this week. So here we are. I've stuck to my words. And just wanted to go through that game again, that international friendly Jamaica versus Costa Rica, which obviously ended 0-0. Thank you to everyone who tuned in for that game. Let me see something just to make sure that I've actually not made a mistake, which I did in my last live. Let's see what's going on over here. Just allow me to check something quickly on my channel. Okay, yes, we're good. So yeah, as I said, I just wanted to go through a few talking points from that game just to get everyone's opinion. I know a few people in the last comment section said that they miss Jodie Brown, the babyface assassin. I think I can second that. I think we all missed her. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, I trust that we will see her for the World Cup qualifiers because that is a player who can most certainly make a difference to any game that we have going. So definitely looking forward to seeing Marlo back our in our in our team. So that's a player that was definitely missed. Also looking forward to seeing the return of Tiffany Cameron as well, who is currently on her road to recovery from a injury. So I trust, no doubt, we'll also see Miss Tiffany Cameron back in that team as well. Good night. Good night. It's actually evening where I am at. Yeah, it's even where I'm at the moment. But good night to yourself. Depending on where you are in the world. It might be an early morning for some of you. So good morning. I hope that you have a splendid day. If you are not kicking off your morning, I trust that it will be Wednesday for some of you. So some of you are quite fortunate. You're midweek. Check you out. I hope that you have a wonderful week. For the rest of us, some of us are still stuck on Tuesday, coming towards late evening on Tuesday. What time is it? My time is currently saying 6:34. 6:34 where I'm at. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to get everyone's opinion on how that game went. Who was your standout player? I know who my standout player was. And I will get into that later on as the live stream go along. Let's see. You're in Jamaica. Okay. We're on similar time zones then. So good evening to yourself. I hope that your day has been going good so far. If not, I hope that it gets better. What's on the menu for dinner? What are you having for dinner? I always like to know what you guys are eating. What's everyone having for dinner? How's everyone's day going so far? If you're having a bad day, I'm really sorry to hear that. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have something better in store for you. But if you did manage to catch that Jamaica versus Costa Rica match, like I said before, that game ended 0-0. Not to sound biased or anything, but I kind of feel like we should have at least bare minimum beaten them by 4-0. Just to do a slight recap, a small recap of that game. Costa Rica actually took the opening lead, but thankfully that was chalked off for offside. They also picked up an early red card in the first half. I believe that might have been in the 17th minute, if I'm not mistaken. Um, which is a little bit of a shame for them and for us as well, because you know how it goes when a team goes down to 10 players. it can sometimes be good for the opposition, but in more cases than anything, it usually turns out to be bad, because what happens when your team go down to 10 players, the opposing side ups their game, and because obviously they're trying to make up for that one less player. And I think that's what Costa Rica did very frustratingly. They annoyed the life out of me. It was my birthday and I was hoping that I would get a nice little birthday win, but they were just a walking nightmare, especially their goalkeeper. She was just a pain, but a good pain. Big up Costa Rica, because we all know by now that Costa Rica has one of the largest Jamaican diaspora across the world, so we're not going to disrespect them. I also have no ill feeling towards Costa Rica, whether that's our women's side or our men's side. I've never felt any ill way towards them. Uh, so they gave us a tiring game. Think about it, guys. You go down to, like I said, it might have been in the 17th minute, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely early in the first 45. You go down to 10 players and you manage to keep yourself together. You manage to be organized and see out a game. And you see a stalemate as well. Credit to yourself. Credit to our girls, because like I said in that live stream, we knocked on that door more than a handful of chances. And my word, we could not unlock them. But like I said to you, that goalkeeper, absolutely outstanding. Credit to the Costa Rica defense. Their goalkeeper definitely saved them. I'm going to get into our players because I am absolutely pleased by what I saw. I know we touched on it in my last live stream, and then I had to run off and I couldn't really dissect the game as well as I wanted to. So hopefully on this stream we could play a bit of tiki taka, me and you guys, my Tallawahs. We can play a little bit of tiki taka football and bounce off each other and see how we all feel about the game, or how we all felt about the game. My day is going great. Zero complaints. Zero complaints from me. I am definitely having a good day. Did my early shopping, then also went out to eat, and I'm waiting to have a drink, but I'm not going to do that whilst I'm live streaming because you guys don't need to see that. um that's not exactly professional, is it? So I'm going to try and keep myself together for you guys. And then when the live stream finish, I'll go and put my feet up, maybe watch a series on Netflix and have a little drink, because I think I deserve that. I'm also on my annual leave as well. I'm on my annual leave, but I'm still having to do work, so I'm not really sure what sense that makes. Let's read some of your comments before we get into the the last game, the review of the last game. Okay, Lee. Okay, I hope you're cooking up something delicious. You sounding like you're a chef there. So I hope that you cook up something delicious for yourself, or for yourself and your family, depending on what you have in mind. So hope you enjoy your. What would that be, Lee? Is that a dinner? I guess that's a dinner. If I check my time, if I'm weighed up with everyone else across the globe, surely that has to be dinner, right? So I hope you enjoy your dinner, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. My bro, Fresh, how are you, Fresh? I feel like, did I see you on the last live stream, Fresh? I feel like I did, but my memory's a little bit off, but I feel like I did. Okay. Now we are talking. Now, see, this is what I was going to cook today. Season up the chicken from when? When does season up the chicken? Probably a day ago. Something like that. But this is actually one of my favorite menus. I love salt mackerel as well. Salt mackerel is one of my favorite food. And I also love curry chicken, and I'm good at making it as well. So you're probably not as good as me, but I hope that your dinner tastes lovely. Excellent choice, by the way. You've gone for something that's one of my personal favorites. There we go. We're touching on the players, your standout players. I love this. I love your list. Paige Bailey Gale, fantastic performance from Bailey Gale. Matthews as well. Like I said, we're going to get into all of that. I'm just going to quickly go through our comments. Mr. Tennessee Lewis, this guy is everywhere. He is everywhere. Support every single Jamaican YouTuber. Big up yourself, Lewis. I hope you're having a wonderful day or a wonderful evening. I hope that your dinner tastes delicious when you get round to having it, or maybe you've already had it. If that's the case, I hope it tasted great. Let's see. Absolutely. I don't know about you guys, but do they usually disappoint you? Do the Reggae Girls usually disappoint you? For me, no, they don't. Also, guys, before I continue, apologies if my surrounding sounds a bit echoey. I'm literally looking at wall to wall, so it's like that would be the reason why my sound quality is probably not that great. I'll try and see if I can improve it in my next live stream. So if it's a little bit irritating, then I do apologize. I think that we get some games. It will be good. Yep, yep. I can't complain of the new additions that's coming to the team. A little bit disappointed. I think it's more frustration with that game against Costa Rica. The fact that we didn't win it, even at the death. Oh my God! Like their goalkeeper is just like I said. I mean, she's essentially a rock in their defense, you know, between their sticks. She's the rock between their stick. Great if you support Costa Rica. If you don't, then good luck to whoever has Costa Rica next, because they're not the easiest team to unlock. So, and also speedy recovery to the handful of Costa Rican players that went off with their injuries. I hope that they are on their way to a speedy recovery for their club and their country. Let's read and see what the rest of the comments are saying. A bit like someone else said that they paraphrasing that they believe that we need a bit more practice sessions, and I think that this was good that we managed to put this one um on the books, international friendly. There's nothing really at stake. The only thing is that's majorly at stake for the team is that gelling, that bonding, because obviously we know that we've got new recruits coming into the team, and we need to make sure that every player is on the same page as each other. You need to know your players, your teammates' positional awareness. So when you make that direct ball, or when you make that side pass, you need to know who's going to be in what position and at what time, and so on. So I think that's more about just sharpening what we already have as well. Remember, in the last camp, we didn't get to see Khadija Shaw because obviously by then she took her team, her former club, Bordeaux, to the Champions League. She was also the top goal scorer in the French division last season's campaign. So we didn't actually get to see her in the last camp, the last Reggae Girls camp. Good to see her back in the team. She was rocking the captain's armband. The skipper for that match was Khadija Shaw, Miss Bunny herself. So good to see Bunny back in the team. I know someone on my live stream on Sunday said that they missed the babyface assassin. That is none other than Jodie Brown, and you are absolutely right. One thing you're going to get from that little babyface assassin is problem. She's a problem child, and she's not our problem, and that's a wonderful thing. Absolute nightmare for defense. She's going to run at you. She's going to twist you up. She can score, and make no mistake, she can also provide assist as well. So she's a headache, but she's not our headache. I absolutely love Miss Jodie Brown, and I'm glad that we've got the babyface assassin in our team. Remember, guys, at the last World Cup qualifications for the CONCACAF region, she won the young player for the qualification process. She can do that again. That's a walk in the park for her. Easy job for her. So best of luck to the Miss Babyface Assassin and the rest of our girls in the black, gold, and green. Let's see what the rest of the comments are saying. Really? Oh, Tennessee, and you're still out here supporting us. Oh my God. Okay. I hope that your shift is going well, and I pray that you have a safe travel on your way home. I hope you reach home safely. That is an underrated blessing, to leave your house and come back home safely. So I hope that you have a safe journey home. And that goes for everyone as well. If you guys are listening or tuning into myself whilst you're on your way home, I hope that you all make it home safely. Let me go through the rest of these comments. Exactly, exactly. It really does test the team, doesn't it? It really does test the team. You're leveling up against some of the best in the world. And also, it's teams that's going to bring out the best in them. It wasn't a walk in the park for us. It could have been, but it wasn't. Real tough team. We know with Costa Rica, a bit like their men's team, that they are a physical side. And my God, like I said so many times before, they frustrate the life out of us. I can't speak for everyone. I'm just gonna say they frustrated me. They definitely frustrated me. And I don't wish to play them too often, but they are good for match sharpness. So again, big up the Costa Ricans. You are you not referring to James, who now plays for Chelsea? You might have to double check that for me and let me know who you're referring to. I feel like you're referring to James, who is now at Chelsea alongside her brother, who plays for the men's side. So double check that for me. But I think that's who you're referring to. Yeah. McCoy, she recently scored a hat trick for Rangers. Obviously, we all know that Kayla McCoy, plays for Rangers with her compatriot Chantel Swaby in the last match. I believe it was the last match. I might have to go back and look at my reports. Should have been the last match before the international break. Long story short, on her first start for Rangers, Kayla McCoy netted a hat trick. So I agree with you. She definitely deserves the opportunity to let loose in that starting 11 of ours. Mr. Travi, how are you? Thank you for tuning in. Apologies for that defeat the other day. I hope that you have recovered. It's a shame that the Reggae Girls didn't give you something to celebrate. Don't worry, your guy's on his last leg. He'll be leaving Manchester at the closest exit pretty soon. So don't sweat yourself too much about that. Let's see what Travi is saying. Yeah, I do. I hope so too. A bit like yourself, like just always itching to see the girls play, because we always have to like almost like hold our breath to see these girls get friendlies in the diary. I'm glad that they're being back financially back, and not just financially back, but fully supported by the Bob Marley Foundation. Because can you imagine where the girls will be without the Bob Marley Foundation? We wouldn't exist, would we? So I pick up the Bob Marley Foundation and Miss Sadella Marley as well. They not only put their money where their mouth is, but they also back their chat. They fully believe in our women's program. Long may that support continue. I hope so too. I'm going to leave that comment right there, because I do hope that everyone is doing well on this mighty fine Tuesday evening. I hope you're all doing well. Drop some comments for me, guys. Yes, let me go back to this comment. Yes, correct. Lauren James. Yeah, I thought we were referring to the same player. Yes, she's now at Chelsea with her brother, Reece James. She signed for Chelsea some months ago. So she's now a Chelsea player. She's a blue. Um, yeah, obviously, I would love to see James link up with us as well. Let me go through the rest of the comments, guys. Let me know who you guys who was your standout player or players. I have my standout player. I was actually quite impressed by our new recruits. I felt that if you are watching the Reggae Girls for the very first time, it will be hard to identify who's on their debut and who isn't. So credit to the players who made their international debut for us, players who aren't used to playing with this crop of players at an international level due to a lack of game time together. The commitment is there. For first signs that I've seen from that Costa Rica match is that they seem to be on the same page as each other, and that's quite similar to our last World Cup campaign. These girls, I guess, I don't know if it's a bit of a stretch, but the impression that I get from them is like almost you can say that chemistry is part of their DNA. They really do believe in whatever the assignment is, and that's wonderful to see. Some really level-headed girls in our squad that we should definitely be proud of. From one of the youngest, Miss Jody Babyface Assassin Brown, to players like Bunny, Plumber, Sweatman, Cameron, you name it, the Swaby sisters. These girls are all on the same page as each other. So I am really really pleased. Like I said, I'm very I don't know, maybe I'm being biased, but I can't recall like watching a game where I'm just like, oh, you let me down. I've been frustrated. Don't get me wrong. On Sunday, I was frustrated, but I wasn't like, you've let me down. Definitely don't get that vibes with the Reggae Girls. They bring some good vibes. Long may it continue. Will kill now. I think they scared of us. Yeah, yes. I want to pick up on that comment actually, Tennessee. If you recap from that game on Sunday, you could see the goalkeeper getting really frustrated because, like I said, we knock on that door a handful of times. Of course, we couldn't actually unlock that door, but there were times where their goalkeeper looking at them and she had her hands in the air as if to say, what are you doing? Focus, pull yourself together. So there is a bit of fear factor there. Don't get it twisted. Like, yes, people will say that we are not the best in the world, but we are not one to be underestimated. We're not pushovers. And if you come into a game and you undermine the Reggae Girls, then you will be made to pay because they're going to attack. They are going to attack. If you can get the organizational right in the center of the park, in the back line, then we are on to something special. We're not doubting our keeper between the sticks. So it's more about sharpening up our defense and also sharpening up our midfield as well. We all know the midfield is the engine of the team. So it's about polishing those areas, in my opinion. Let's see what Travi is saying. I think we're all on the same page here. I was so impressed by her. Like, I was literally sat there. This is one of the plays where I'm just saying that if you are watching the Reggae Girls for the very first time, you are going to assume that players like Bailey Gale has been in this team for ages. You probably assume that she was at the last World Cup with the girls regular in the starting 11. Really impressed by Bailey Gale. She should definitely hold her head high. She put in an excellent shift. She was working her position. See what everybody else is saying. Oh, okay. It's a bit of that's an interesting one. I mean, her brother plays for England, right? So you can understand as a family, let's not be too harsh on her. As a family, you'd think you'd want both brother and sister to play for England. I don't have let me not even say too much about England because I might just get myself in trouble. But yeah, I hear what you're saying about the black faces in that England team. It's a bit of a disappointment because it doesn't represent the population. In my opinion, that England women's team does not represent the population. The first and only time that I actually wanted England to do well, since this comment touched on England, is when they played at the 2018 World Cup. Remember at Russia, where they had, I believe it was half of their squad or more than half of their squad were of players who came from Black Afro-Caribbean communities, backgrounds. And that was actually spoke volume because that did actually represent what England looks like now, modern day England. Obviously, you had a few people who had sour tastes in their mouth because they believe that that's not England. According to some people, black people don't exist in England. But big up Gareth Southgate for what he did at the last World Cup in terms of diversifying that team. It would be nice to see the England women's team do the same. Because it doesn't look good at the moment. There are more black players that they can select for sure. But that's their problem. We're not concerned about England. In Jamaica, we say out of many one people, and our team definitely reflects that. So I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of my black, gold, and green. I don't know about other people's countries. That's their problem and their headache. Let them worry about that. Let's move on and see what Plumber Blackwood, again, nursing an injury. Plummer as well, you gotta understand that she recently made a transfer over to Sweden, so she's trying to nail herself down with her current club as well. But Plummer, again, that's the player that we can trust. I think for with Plummer, it's more about Kanya Plummer. That is, it's more about her getting a solid number of game time with her current club. If we put her in the starting 11, that's not somebody that's going to disappoint us. Captain Plummer, always Captain Plummer in my eyes. I don't know what the coaching staff have in mind because what is this the second game? Third game. Third game, people, where I've seen the captain's armband. I've seen so many players wear the captain's armband in the last 3 games. I have no idea who our captain is at the moment. So, is that something that the coaches are trying to test out? What do you guys think, actually? Who should be the captain? Are we going with tradition and saying that the captain should be the player who leads from the back, so i.e., your goalkeeper or someone in the defense? Because in the last game against Costa Rica, we had Miss Bunny with the captain's armband. Looks good on her, but is that who we're saying we want to be the captain or who should be the captain? I get why Bunny wore the captain's armband in the last game. Aside from her quality, nobody can dispute her quality, her commitment, what she brings to the team, but also her profile with her now playing for Manchester City in the FA Women's Super League over in England. So her profile is right up there, the biggest of any player in our squad. So that could be the reason why she was wearing the captain's armband. Will that be the same for the qualifiers? Who knows? Perhaps. But who will you guys like to see as your captain? Are you sticking with Miss Konya Plummer? Or are you going with someone else? Alison Swaby of AS Roma also wore the captain's armband in our friendly. Remember when we did the USA that little USA mini tournament where we also played against Nigeria. We beat them. I would like to remind us. I have a few Nigerian friends, good people, but we beat your country, and I'd like to remind you that we did. Let's see what everybody else is saying. Yeah, they do need to make improvements. You gotta remember as well that they are young. You know, they are young, and they will only get better. So be patient with them. But yes, we need depth. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. We need depth. And it's not just in the positions that you have raised. You've raised a good point, and it's not one that many people can disagree with. We definitely need depth. And that's depth in every department, not just in the defensive position on the field. You kn- Listen, leave my boy Travi alone. I told him I'm not going to speak about his club, so I'm going to stick to my words. Wun, my big bro, how are you? Big up yourself, Wun. I hope you're having a blessed evening, a blessed afternoon. I keep forgetting where you're based, Wun. I think it's maybe evening for you, so I hope that dinner is on the pot. If not, if you've had it already, I hope it tasted great. But I hope you're okay, Wun. Jay, I hope you're okay, Jay. I hope your evening or your afternoon's going splendid. Or if not, I hope that it gets better. My Ghana, Eddie Good. Eddie, I want to apologize for the last couple of days. I've literally been like completely out the loop, particularly on my Instagram, because I've had so much stuff to deal with. Currently just waiting on my granddad's funeral because I lost my granddad recently. So yeah, there's planning for my granddad's funeral at the moment. So that's the reason why I'm a little bit quiet on socials. So Eddie, I know you guys, I don't know if it was you, but someone from your team sent me a DM about coming onto your platform. I'm really sorry that I saw that late. Because if not, if I had time on my hands, I would definitely have stopped by. Guys, whilst you're at it, don't forget to check out Sports Down the Middle across all platforms. I think they're on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, so don't quote me on that, but they're definitely on Instagram and they're on Twitter. Also, head over and subscribe to their channel as well. Okay, Miss Sweatman, my number 9. You're saying Sweatman should be captain. Who's going to argue with that one? Okay, I could see the captain credentials in Miss Marlowe's Sweatman. A good shout. Good shout. Not going to argue with you on that one, Eddie. Plumber has the yes. Yeah. Yeah. I can't argue with that one. And that's what I'm saying. This is where we have to be mindful of. It's all right for us to criticize our player our players. Obviously so far we've been quite respectful of our criticism. Long may that continue. But you're absolutely right there, Wern. You see the good player in Plummer. You definitely see her abilities there for the world to see. It's more about polishing. I think she's approaching that age now where it's about polishing, trying to get that coach, like you said, that coach to aid her development and mold her into an even better player. I mean, come on, one of the youngest players at the World Cup, and she was captaining her country. She also went on to have a statue, a statue. The same guy, Didel, who made the Usain Bolt statue. I think that statue of Usain Bolt outside his track and field records, Mobe. Somebody correct me on that. Is it in Mobe? The person, the same artist basically who made that Usain Bolt statue, he went and made a statue of Kanya Plummer. Think about that, guys. You went to your first ever World Cup, captained your team at that World Cup. When you leave from that World Cup, you're an artist, the same very artist who created the Usain Bolt statue, gave you your own statue. A lot of players, even legendary players, will never have statues created for them, whether that's at club level or international level. So big up Plummer. If you guys want to see more on that statue that was created for Plummer, that's actually on my YouTube channel as well. Before I go, I'm going to try and pop it into the comment section so you guys can give that a watch. I think I did that straight after the 2018 World Cup. So I went over to Germany to interview the artists. For that, let's carry on with the rest of the comments. Let's have a wild guess and see who you support. Someone's feeling high and mighty. Hey, big up yourself. Your team handled business. I'm not going to get involved with that. I told my Manchester United fans that I won't bring up nothing to do with their team. So I'm not gonna let me change my mind and upset their feelings. Let's see. That's a good question. I was talking about the friendlies and the friendlies that were in the diary. Those got pulled. So I'm gonna look into that again. And then got pulled and rescheduled. So everything is just up in the air, a bit like the men's team. Things are never ever smooth sailing. So I'm gonna look into that for you again and get a confirmation on what's definitely solidified in the diary in terms of friendly. And we can perhaps chat about that on another stream. Sir Woon Woon. That is his name. That name suits him. He really is Sir. He really is a Sir. Always showing love and support to everyone. Absolutely, Travi. You saw at the last World Cup, because I know you was one of the most vocal supporters on Twitter, supporting the girls. So we know what we're capable of, and it's not about being cocky. It's not about being overconfident, but we know what our girls are capable of. And if there is one team that is capable of qualifying for their second successive World Cup, surely it has to be the girls in black, gold, and green. But they're going to need people like the foundation to back them fully. Be sincere with your backing of the Reggae Girlz, and I'm sure if you give them the wings to fly, they will do exactly that. Let's see what. Who are you referring to, Woon? I think I might have missed a comment here from Eddie. Was it Marlo? Marlo? I think you might be talking about Marlo, if I'm not mistaken. I think you might be. Woon, you're in London. I did not know that you are in London. So are you based in London? I don't know. For some reason, I always thought that you was based in Jamaica. My apologies. My apologies. Yeah, Trudy came on, didn't she? And she looked good. She looked good as well. Absolutely, Jay. You tell them. Please go ahead and remember to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe as well if you're new to the channel. Please go ahead and subscribe. Thank you, Win. Thank you so much. It's weird. It's such a weird feeling. This is the first time that I've actually lost a grandparent, and that's one of the worst feelings when you live overseas. You always fear getting that inevitable phone call saying that one of your grandparents is no longer here. Then obviously you have to make that trip to come back home. And it's weird because my granddad is usually first on the doorstep, two breadfruit in hand. And it's just unfortunate not to have that luxury anymore. But yes, thank you. Like you said, may his soul rest in peace. So thank you for your condolences. Thank you, my Ghana. Thank you. Thank you. They have definitely done some good recruits. I think that's one thing you can credit the women's side for, right? They do recruit well. There's a couple things that they don't do so well, but I think that's a conversation for another time. I don't want to be negative in this live stream. So I'll hold fire on that. Let's see what the rest of you are saying. Asha, oh really? Really? Okay. Okay. Why is that? Why have you gone for Asha as your captain? Asha also came on in the second half as well. That was good to see her. He's IT saying, you're saying Khadija should be captain. I hear you, but kind of feel like my captain should be someone who's at the back. I don't doubt Khadija's ability to be captain, but I quite fancy my captain being someone who's either, I'm not saying, for example, Sydney Schneider should be the captain, but for example, I prefer my captain to be like my goalkeeper or somebody in my defensive back line. Kind of leading from the back, if you want to put it that way. Seems like we've got a couple of people here who's from London. Don't want. Yeah. Yeah, Alison Swaby. I think you're referring to Alison, right? Because Alison captained the side. Which game was that? I think that was against USA, where Alison captained us in the little mini summer series that we had back in the summer. So I could see Alison captaining the side. But again, like you said, I don't know about Shaw with the pressure. I think she thrives under pressure. When you're playing in foreign leagues, the pressure is automatically there. She played in France, right, where I'm pretty sure French isn't her first language, and look how well she performed. Left that season on a high with the leading top goal scorer award. Took her team to Champions League football. So I think she's players like Khadija Shaw is like your Raheem Sterling. Players will thrive under pressure. When Raheem Sterling is performing poorly for his club, you put him in that England team and he's performing out his socks. I don't know. Players like that just have like an elite mentality. Like pressure is like fuel for them. Like I dare you to doubt me type of thing. So I don't know. I think she would perform well under pressure. I hear your point in Chantel Swaby being the it's not Chantel Swaby. Actually, let me not put words into your mouth. Are you referring to Chantel Swaby or are you referring to Alison Swaby? Because I'm assuming, and I shouldn't really be doing that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think you summed that up beautifully with Plummer. Beautifully. It's just about, and again, that comes with age and experience. It'd be interesting to find out why she's this is an assumption why she's no longer the captain, because that captain's armband seemed to be passed around, and I'm thinking, why are you playing around with the captain's armband so soon to World Cup qualifiers? What's that all about? What's going on there? So kind of makes me feel like she might not be the first choice captain. But I don't know. That's something that I will look into for you guys And we can have that on another show. We can talk about who we think the captain should be, because I think that's an interesting conversation. I'm undecided at the moment. I don't know who I think the captain would be. I'm in favor. This is a wonderful comment from Woon. I'm in favor of keeping Plummer with the captain's armband, right? I'm always wary of doing certain things with players, i.e., taking away a captain's armband from a player, because I also think to myself, what does that do to their mentality? Does that say that we don't believe in you? Does that say that you are not captain material? Does that say that you don't have what it takes to lead the team? You have to be careful when you're making these types of decisions, because she is a young player. I trust that mentally she's strong, but you never want to go into a World Cup or any game of any significance with any player, any key player, doubting themselves, thinking that the head coach or coaching staff, management don't believe in my leadership ability. Naturally, when you're playing in that defensive role, you are expected to be a leader. So that's interesting there. That one has been like rattling my head for some time. Like, what's going on here? Is she the captain? Is she not the captain? Why are we playing around with the captain's armband? Yeah, I don't really think that that's something that needs to be touched, but what do I know? London in the J, you're from London as well. Okay, big up everyone who's from London and across the world, the whole Jamaica diaspora. Big up yourself. Okay, Tennessee, you're saying you think Allison Swift, but I got to admit the captain's armband did look good on Allison. I'm not, thing with me is that I'm not too fussed about who wears the captain's armband, but for me, I'm just thinking, is that a major priority right now? For me, it's not. But like I said, I don't know what goes on in the chain. I don't know what goes on in the training ground and so on. So I can sit here and say that it's not a priority, but I'm not a coach, so I'll let the coach make their decision. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So yes, guys, as I said, that is the reason why I've been majorly quiet on socials in terms of content creation, not being able to get my content out to you guys. I don't want to say I have better things to do, but I just have things that take up way more time. And with me, I don't want to just rush and create rushed content for you guys. When I do things, I like to take my time. I like to give you guys quality content, even if it's just 1 minute, 2 minutes. I like to make sure that the quality of the content is there, so the research is on point and so on. Because you guys need quality content, because you're taking your precious time to buy into whatever I'm feeding you. I think we're capable of more seeing the group of players we should go to, expecting to get out of the group and cause it work. Yeah. I'm feeling fairly relaxed, guys. I don't know. Maybe people will say that I'm overly confident with my team, but I love my team. I really do, as you all do. The black, gold, and green. Those girls, like I said, for me personally, they very rarely disappoint. So I'm not sweating it too much. Someone asked me again, what do I think of the team's ability? Do I think we're going to qualify for the next World Cup? Naturally, I do. But I'll be able to give you a more concrete response once I see how we play in further friendlies and also in the first couple matches in the World Cup qualifiers. Really? How do you think that will go down with the team? See, this is something, I see where you're going with this. But I don't know. I'm always like leaning back when I see like teams. Say we look at club level, when I see a player coming towards news team and they're giving like the captain's armband. Say for example, Harry Maguire for Manchester United. I look at that and I'm thinking, well, why are you the captain? One, you're a new player. This is my thoughts at the time. One, you're a new player. Two, you have a better captain. If I was making that decision, I would have made my captain would have been David De Gea, because 6 seasons on the trot, David De Gea was Manchester United Superman. So I would have made David De Gea the captain. but that's not my club, so that's their headache, that's their problem. But yeah, just going back to what I've said, I'm a little bit not against, but I'm a little bit reluctant. If I was in that managerial position, if I was that head coach, I'll be reluctant to give a new player the captain's armband. Because again, you do have to think, I guess the profile of the player is one that is one thing that will be worth considering, the quality of the player. But also you take those few things into consideration. You also have to think of your current captain, young Konya Plummer. I'm not going to sit here and try to question her mentality. She's probably strong as anything. But I also have to be realistic and say to myself, how would you feel if you took your team to the last World Cup and a new recruit comes in and they're giving the captain's armband? No disrespect to any new player who comes into the team and is given the potentially given the captain's armband, but me personally, I think I would feel some type of way about that. I don't know if that would sit well with me. But that's a fair shout. I could see why you made that suggestion. Yeah, exactly. I prefer somebody at the back leading from the back, because when you're at the back, you see everything. When you're at the front, you're only seeing what's in front of you. So, for example, someone said they would love Bunny to be the captain. I'm not against that, but you got to understand, Bunny is focusing on what is in front of her, right? So she's focusing on, should I square this or should I take this ball on and try and put my team one up or try to extend or a lead. She don't have eyes in the back of her head to see that she needs to say to her defense, what are you doing? You need to shake things up. Unless it's from something like a direct free kick or a corner, where she could have that one or two conversation to say, hey, you're losing focus, or you need to be more focused. So I always think that it's a good idea to let somebody at the back, your what do you call it, your goalkeeper or somebody in that defensive line, to be the captain, because they have a clear vision of everything that's going on the pitch, or at least they should. Pending whether or not they're focused, they should see everything that's going on. Who is Tennessee? Tell me more. Tell me more in that, Tennessee. Who's your right captain? Tell me more. Like I said, there's so much I want to talk about with this Reggae Girl squad, but I don't want to be too negative. I'm going to hold my opinions until the right time where I think that we can touch on certain things, because I keep telling people there's loads of positives with the Reggae Girls, but like, quite similar to the boys, to our male counterparts, there's also things going on over on that side that's just unacceptable. And I will talk about it, no doubt. I'm most certainly going to talk about it, but I'm going to give myself some time. They said that there's no time like the present. There's a right time for everything. Yeah, she's gonna get better. Trust me with that. She's going to get better. But in relation to Plummer, like I said, I did an interview with the artist that created the Kanya Plummer statue. Imagine that. She's not even in her prime and she already has a statue. Think about that, guys. A statue of Kanya Plummer on her home soil. So big up Kanya Plummer. Glenn, oh God, I would love that. I would love that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might have put that forward in a press conference not too long ago, but that was just me being selfish from somebody who is based in the London diaspora, saying that I want them to come over and play England, and that would be an incredible game in terms of the quality of football and also the atmosphere. When they came over, Reggae Girls came over back in 2018, I believe it was in October. And they played against Nottingham Forest women's team, right? So they played up in Nottingham, and historically, that was the first time that the women's team have traveled. The senior women's team traveled to Europe. To no surprise, we obviously beat them, and that was with a respectfully depleted squad. So I would love to see Jamaica versus England. Whether that would most likely be on England home soil. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that can happen in the near future. I know the diaspora people across Europe would love to travel to England to see that game. See what everybody else is saying in the comments, guys. Let me know who was your standout player. Most people are saying that their standout player was Bailey Gale. Jade Bailey also popped up as well. Yeah, like I said, I think you're referring to my granddad. Yeah, it is weird. I wish he was here in the physical flesh. I said this is the first time that I've had to come home and not see one of my grandparents. So I wish that he was here in the physical flesh. And his funeral is coming up soon, so I'm preparing myself for that. Yeah, that game against, and that was another historic game because that was Scotland. Scotland, we were both making our way to the our first World Cup, making basically our World Cup debut. So Scotland again, that was another good game. I think I might have watched it on BBC Sports, and I checked my timeline. Um, on Twitter, and so many people were watching that. And if that was played anywhere else in the world, anywhere else in it wouldn't be played in England. But for example, if that was England, I know the UK Jamaican diaspora would show up in their numbers for that. No two ways. Bit frustrating when all these games are always being played in America. Like, come to Europe. Like, come over to Europe. Come to England. There's plenty of us in England. I think we are capable of more than that. Yep. Yep. I agree with you. I agree with you. See a comment here. I think somebody is like referring to somebody maybe at managerial level. That's a conversation for another time. It's definitely it's one that I'm keen to discuss. So don't you worry about that. We will definitely get into further conversation about what this person has just said in the comment section. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but we'll most certainly be talking about some of the internal things that's going on, or things that have gone on in the past with the hopes of it not resurfacing. No, like I said, I'm not against it. I'm not against a new player coming in. I'm just talking about I'm very big on mental well-being and taking care of one's mental health. And again, in the pandemic where we're living in the uncertainty, a lot of times people can go through stuff and you might not be aware of it. And all it takes is one thing to like kind of knock their confidence or to break them, right? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Kanya Plummer is that person who you can break, or Kanya Plummer is that person who is going through certain stuff. What I'm saying is, I'm kind of reluctant to see a new player, and I did say that there are things that you would consider, such as their profile and their quality, the quality they bring to their team and their overall quality. Those are a few things that you would consider when you bring a new player to the team and you're thinking, should I make them captain? But I'm also saying, before you make that decision, you also have to say, a young Kanya Plummer, how would she feel about having the captain's armband taken away from her? Are you going to say, this World Cup qualifying campaign, you won't be the captain, but you will be a vice captain? Now that kind of softens the blow, because make no mistake about it, doesn't matter how strong mentally Kanya Plummer is, having the captain's armband taken away from you, this isn't like at club level. This is international level. This is a player who loves her country. So that will have an effect on her. It might not have a great effect, but it'll be one of those ones where it's a little bit emotional and she probably, soak it up, take it on the chin and move on. But to soften the blow, I wouldn't completely take her out of that ranking of who should be captain. If she's not going to be the captain, then most certainly she should be considered as a vice captain. As she put her foot wrong to the point where you're just like, I'm going to strip you of the captain's armband. I've seen plenty of people here. We're on both sides of Kanya Plummer, and what we've all pretty much said is no one can deny her quality, but there is room for improvements. So that tells me that this isn't a player that has disappointed her supporters to the point where they don't think she should be captain, right? So I'm not saying that a new player shouldn't be captain. I'm just saying when you take mental health into consideration, what will this do to a Konya Plummer? Right? What will it do to her confidence? What will it do to her morale? These are some of the things that you have to consider. Or these are some of the things that I would consider. But I'm not a coach. I'm not a manager, so I don't know how they do things in that department. Tennessee saying that he thinks Konya should keep it. I'm not going to disagree. 100%. 100. Who's going to disagree with this comment? 100%. 100%. Tear up any league. And the FA Women's Super League, they've yet to see the best of her. She's going to tear up that league. I'm looking forward to seeing Bunny play live in person. All the time I actually got to see Bunny live was at the World Cup in France. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, yes. Yes, she was. I'm telling you, these new players that have come into the team, I would love to be a fly on the wall because I want to know what was said to them because they have bought into the assignment. And this is the big positive, people. When you have a team that has done the unthinkable, that has reached their goal, i.e., to qualify for the World Cup, it's easier for you to go out there and talk to players from any club, any league, and say, this is what we have in mind. Do you want to come and play for us? These players who have come over from playing in the FA Women's Super League, so the league, the highest played league in the English division, these players who are eligible to play for England, they probably wouldn't even have think twice when Jamaica approached them. Why? Because they know that when you look at that Jamaican team, as a black player, when you look at that Jamaican team, pardon me, says out of many one people, there is diversity in every angle of that team. So automatically, you don't have to worry about fitting in. You don't have to think, oh my God, if I go and get called up to Jamaica, who's going to be my roommate? Who am I going to vibe with? The vibe is there already. It's just for you to come in. Can they qualify for their second World Cup? Absolutely. They've done it before. They can do it again with the help of your service. And you see that with these players that has come in, for me personally, it seems like they bought into the assignment, which is good. Because what frustrates me is when you get new players into the team and it's kind of look at them and you think, do you even want to be here? You're questioning their commitment. How committed are you? Do you want to be here? Or do you want to be somewhere else? I'm looking at the women's team at the moment, and no one really comes to mind from this current team that I can say, do you want to be here? And I'm judging this based off that international friendly against Costa Rica. So far nobody made me think, do you want to be here? One, who do you support? I don't think I've asked you who you support. Do not think we've had that conversation yet. So yes, guys, like I said, let me know who was your standout player. My standout player, guys, can we talk about Matthews for a second? That lady, I'm telling you, she's an incredible athlete. She is something else. I was blown away by her. She's like, I can't find the right words to say to compliment Matthews without getting a bit too ahead of myself and getting overly excited. But she gave a fantastic account of herself. She was all over that pitch and she was twisting up a couple of those defenders as well. Flary player, real serious player. I remember when I was at the World Cup following the Reggae Girlz and I went into the press conferences, I was looking at her and I was thinking, if I'm a defender, I'm not even trying to eye you up because in the nicest way possible, she's intimidating. She looks like that player that's just like a no nonsense player. You know, you look at a certain player and you're thinking, there's no point in even trying to wind you up or intimidate you because it's a complete waste of time. She gives me that vibe respectfully in the nicest way possible. Understands the assignment. She's not here for fun and games. She's here to do her job and go home. And you saw that. Frustrating for her on my behalf. She reminds me of when Kimar Roof made his second appearance for Jamaica, second and third appearance, second appearance for Jamaica, and you're looking and you're thinking, wow, one word that comes to few words that comes to mind with Kimar Roof is workhorse, complete workhorse. This guy, he's on it. And that's what you saw with Matthews in that game against Costa Rica. Work rate through the roof. You could tell. I remember my key moment from that game, or my highlight from that game, was her towering header. And my word, that goalkeeper, that Costa Rica goalkeeper, she was on job. She was on job. If she was not focused, that would have been it. That goal would have gone straight in the back of the net. So I'm really pleased for Matthews. And the reason why I'm ringing her praises as well, guys, you got to think about it. This is a player who is playing in the similar position as Shaw, right? So instantly, you have to bring your A game. If you never was going to bring your A game, you better bring your A game, and you have to. Why? Because you want to be in the manager's ears or the head coach's ears or the management team ears to say that yes, you want to be living in their head rent free. You want to be thinking yes, automatically you're going to call up Bunny, but you're also going to call me up, because what you're going to get from me is, yes, because I'm a forward, I can give you the goals, the assists. But if I don't give you that, I'm going to work my butt off. And that's what you get from Matthews, complete workhorse. I can't fault her, because she was something else from that game. Complete player who desperately wanted to get her name on the score sheet. And I'm kind of sad for her that she didn't, because like I said, that lady she gave it everything, with the exception of not being able to give us a goal, but she worked her ass off for that in that game. Where's my bro? Oh, hello. I'm not going to talk about something. I'm happy to see you here, by the way, but I'm not going to talk about something. Think you know what that thing is, but I'm not going to talk about it. But I hope that you're okay, coach. And I know you guys are familiar with this name, Coach's Desk. If you have not seen Coach's Desk before, I think that's possible once you're in this community. But please do head over to Coach's Desk. It's spelled the way it is on the screen. Go and subscribe to his channel. Also check him out on Instagram and on Twitter. I can't confirm if he's on Facebook because I don't use Facebook, but also give it a try. See if he's on Facebook. He has a wonderful team over there at Coach's Desk with some excellent content. I would leave it with her. Has to be a good reason to do that. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There has to be a damn good reason why you would say, I'm not giving you that captain's armband no more. Again, I don't know why so close to World Cup qualifiers. Is that really an area that we need to be playing about with? Do we not have more important things to consider? I don't know. And with Konya as well, I've had the pleasure of meeting her in person, and she don't seem, obviously I know one is not saying she's a troublemaker, but he's just making a point, right? And I'll add to what he's saying. The times that have been fortunate to meet Plummer, she's never rubbed me up the wrong way. Like I've never looked at her and thought, yeah, you would cause problem in the dressing room. Obviously, I don't know her personally, but the impression that I got from her, she was one, approachable and manageable as well. Great manners. I met her for the first time in London when they came over just before the World Cup for the World Cup send off, and she actually approached me and she was just like hi, and so on. And I was thinking that's quite big for a player to actually she wasn't the only player that did it, but because you're talking about her, I'll focus on her. For a player to approach you and greet you, that says a lot about who the player is, right? Because the footballers, like, no disrespect to footballers, but some of them are a bit high and mighty. They're not like athletes. I've had the pleasure of being around athletes for Jamaica and Team GB, and they're a lot much nicer than footballers. Some footballers are just very full of themselves, but when I've had the pleasure of meeting the Reggae Girlz, I can say the majority of the players that I have met are fantastic ambassadors for Jamaica. Kanya Plummer is no different. So that's what I'm saying, guys. If she's not going to be given the license to wear the captain's armband, it has to be for a bloody good reason. Because if not, somebody is doing something wrong somewhere, and it's not something that sits well with me. But that's, I'm going to be honest, respectfully. But again, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I'm not a coach. I'm not a manager, so I can't really say too much. I did, Warren. Thank you for asking. I had a lovely, lovely birthday. Lovely birthday. It's the best birthday I've had as an adult. So that pretty much tells you everything you need to know. The adult me, that's the best birthday I've had. Let's see what everybody else is saying in the comment section. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please remember to hit the like button. And also, if you have not subscribed, please remember to subscribe as well. Thank you so much to those of you who have tuned in so far. I can't believe we've been speaking for over an hour. In my mind, I said I was only going to do this for half an hour, but I love talking with you guys. That tiki-taka football that I spoke about, me passing the ball to you guys passing the ball to me, we're doing that, and I'm loving it. Amen. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Which is why I'm just like scratching my head. I'm like, I'm going to tell you what my only negative was from that game. And you guys heard me complaining about it. And it was the fact that I had to pay to watch my country play. And that frustrates me. Like, I'll do anything for my country, anything for my team, whether it's the women's side or the men's side. But there should never be a good enough reason why we should have to pay to watch our country play. And I know somebody made a fair point in saying that they need the money. I'm not going to dispute that. But what about people who are underprivileged, who cannot afford? What about people who come from parishes who are probably not well established, coming from broken homes, who want to watch their country play but can't afford to even go to the bank and take out a bank account? One thing, taking out a bank account, what about if you don't even have enough money to go and spend on a game? You can probably barely find enough money to put food on your table. Are you going to be using your last fortune to go and watch your country play in an international friendly? Of course not. How do you feel if you're from a parish like St. Mary, or you're from a place where Bunny's from, and you're saying to yourself, you want to watch these women who are from your parish play, but you can't afford to watch them play because you don't have access to things such as credit cards, or you don't have the financial backing to go and support your team? How do you think they feel? You see what I'm saying? So that's the one thing that really frustrated me, because for a lot of us, the reason why we have so much in common is because we come from humble beginnings. 9 times out of 10, footballers come from poor beginnings, right? So for you to then flip the script and charge the poor, it's just like, it's something that don't sit well with me. And I'm not going to sit here and say that fair play because they need money. Yes, they do need money, but you should never ever be charging the fans to watch the girls or the boys play, especially in an international friendly. That's something that I'm never going to I'm never going to agree with it. Am I going to pay to watch them play? Absolutely, because I want to watch them play, and I also want to be able to feed back to you guys, so people who aren't in privileged position to watch the team play. I want to be able to say, guys, this is how the game went. This is how well we played. This is what we need to work on. That's the only reason why I paid to watch the team play. That was my only negative. Nothing to do with the performance. Funny enough, it was money well spent. It was money well spent, but I was annoyed because I was thinking, there were at one point someone said in the comment section that they pretty much can't watch the game. And that kind of broke me on the inside. I was just like, I felt sorry for that person. I'm not going to name their name, but I felt sorry. Like, here you are, you're having to tune in to me when you could have had the option of actually popping on your telly. What does it take to actually show these games on television, Jamaica? Like, are you kidding me? The nation is playing in an international friendly, and people, normal common people like myself, can't even stick the telly on television Jamaica free to air and watch the girls play. And you guys are trying to market a product. If you want to market a product, it has to be accessible for all. It has to be accessible for all. You can't exclude certain groups. You can't exclude, and the people who are being excluded massively at the moment is the poor. And when you look at that team that went to the World Cup, a lot of these girls came from humble beginning. So you're pretty much slapping them in the face, if I'm being honest. That was the one thing that annoyed me. It's happened to me before where I've had to pay to watch the team play. I think at one point I was even paying to watch the boys play. And they were giving results that was just like irritating me. But I was just like, because I love my team and I love my country, I'm going to continue to pay. But it's unacceptable and they need to stop that. They really need to stop charging people to watch the team play. Yes, if I'm going to watch them play in person, charge me an arm and a leg. That even then I'm just like, but what is the result saying? With the girls, because they've recently gone to the last World Cup, I'm probably more willing to say yes, I'm willing to pay your arm and the leg. With the boys, I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm like, you're going to have to show me what you're really made of before I can be charged an arm and the leg. But even so, I'll probably still do it because, like I said, I love my country. So yes, if I'm showing up to the national stadium and you're saying money is an issue, so long as the money is going back into the team, charge me an arm and a leg. But don't charge me to watch an international friendly. Don't charge me for a stream because that's not acceptable. That's unacceptable. And I do feel sorry for people who can't watch the game. I'm sorry that I've actually had to go on a little rant, but that really that upset me. Let's see if I can change the topic temporarily. This is why we get on because unfortunately, I'm not even going to mention their name, but unfortunately, that's my team as well. One. See, this is why we get on. This is definitely why we get on. can't, can't, one, can't. There's some stuff that we're going to be talking about, one, but can't. That's all I'm going to say on that note. Can't. You're on the right area. You touched on something there, one, but you're smart enough to put two and two together when I say that there's certain stuff that I want to talk about in this team because everybody think it's all rosy with the Reggae Girlz. It's not. We also have similar problems to the men's side. And if people think that they're going to mistreat them or undermine them and not give them the respect that they deserve, then they are sadly mistaken because there are going to be people in the fan base who will be speaking out against them respectfully. So yeah, as I said, there's loads of stuff to talk about with the Reggae Girlz. Let me go through this comment section with you guys. I've kind of like lost track of who we're all talking about here, people. Why is that? Why you never watch them play? Is that due to access, or are you just not a fan of the women's side? It's okay if you're not a fan. You don't have to be a fan. It's not by force. But I'm keen to know why you've not actually watched them play. Because I think if you actually watch them play, you'll be proud. You definitely be proud. I know my generation, 90s babies, for a lot of us, we can't remember World Cup 1998, but I can say I can remember World Cup 2019, and I was there in the stands. I was there when Miss Havana Salon scored our one and only goal, and I was in that press box, and too right, I jumped up and celebrated. Funny enough, before in the first game, they were telling me that we're not allowed to celebrate. I said, you really think I traveled all the way from London to France to not celebrate if my team score? You've got to be kidding me. So I did. I went against their rules, and I will do it again at the next World Cup to jump for joy when my team scores. Yeah, you definitely, every team needs a good passer in the middle. That's the engine of the team. That's the player that pulls the strings. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We know that. We know that. It's not right, but we definitely know that. It's not right. She cannot. She cannot. I'm not even going to entertain that. She cannot. Heads will roll. Heads will roll. So that we're not even going to entertain that one. But good shout from Scott and Werner on picking up on Sydney Schneider. I can never load an if I okay, interesting. All right then. Well, next time they're playing, I should be doing a live watch along, so I can give you a few suggestions, give you a few links of how to watch the game if they're not charging us. If they're charging us, then it's not that I don't want to share the link, but even if I share the link, you would obviously then have to pay, because it's not a case where you can watch the same link as me. It would literally ask you to log in. So if it's a free link, then I will definitely um let you know which website I'm using. One, you're hitting some nail on the head. We've got so much to talk about. We have so much to talk about. People are rubbing me up the wrong way, and they've been doing so with this women's team for a while now. Yeah, there are things that happens in the men's team and things that happen in the men's and women's team that those at the top, they need to realize that as a fan base, we're not willing to settle. You know, we're not dust. We're not going to settle with nonsense, and people will realize that soon enough. So stuff that they might have done in the past and people didn't pull them up on it, this time round it's not going to be like that. I can promise you that respectfully. Let's see what you guys are saying. Warren, I think the majority, like I said, obviously my opinion will be different to everybody's opinion, but as I've said before, I'm very rarely, I can't think of a time where felt like they disappointed me. Even when I was at the World Cup, frustrated, yes, because we didn't get a win and we only scored one goal. I was frustrated. Anybody would be frustrated with their team, but I didn't feel like you've disappointed me. Definitely didn't feel like they've disappointed me. So that just goes to show that for me personally, I feel like there are a number of players in that team who are worth watching. Straight off the top of my head, we know one of the standout players at the last World Cup for us was none other than Sydney Schneider. She had some of the best players, athletes, a matter of fact, in the world raining her praises, and she absolutely deserved it as well. What's this saying? I don't know what Win and TJ's talking about. Seems like they're having a nice little conversation there. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you'd like me to focus on in my next live. Just to remind you all, please be patient with me in terms of my content, because I'm still in the process of looking forward to my granddad's funeral. So please be patient with me. And also, if you send me a DM and I haven't responded to it on any platform, please know that I'm not ignoring you, but I don't want to respond to something that I probably won't be able to respond to if you respond, right? I won't be able to provide you with a follow-up response, because these days I just kind of check my phone and take care of important matters. So my phone isn't in my hand as much as it usually is. Thank you. Thank you, Fabian. Love you guys too. Definitely. My Tallawahs, love you guys too. All day. A lot of people say that, Wayne. A lot of people say that. And this is why I say that if you're trying to market a product, like I know people in this comment section who were on Twitter during that World Cup qualifying campaign, and they were absolutely loving the team. And a lot of them actually said that they would rather watch the women's team rather than the men's team. So this is why I say that if you're looking to sell a product which is extremely marketable, the Reggae Girlz or just anything that has that is branded by Jamaica is always going to be marketable, right? Because of our influence on the globe. Now, what I'm saying is, if you're trying to market the team, then it's not a good idea to charge people to watch the game. I'm going to do it because I'm used to doing that and I want to watch them play and I know what I'm signing up for. But if it's somebody who is new, who has never seen the team, are they going to want to pay to watch them play? Especially when finances are probably a little bit of a concern for them? Obviously not. They're not going to want to do that because they don't know what they're getting themselves into. Oh, that's great. That's put a smile on my face. I hope your lovely daughters are okay. It's great to see that they're into their football. Hopefully that continues for them. Eligible to play for the Reggae Girls? Would be nice if at least one of them. I'm not going to force no one to say that they love football because growing up I hated football. Absolutely hated it. I don't know how I managed to love it now, but I hated it. Used to sit and wonder like why how do people watch this? This is just players running back and forth, 11 players on each side, running back and what running back and forth at each other, trying to score. What's that all about? And now I'm literally like hooked to it. It's literally a religion. Weird how that has turned out. Football is literally a religion, and also a language. So I don't know about you guys. I'm slightly going off topics here because I'm waiting for you guys to tell me what you want us to talk about. Yeah, that's one of the first things that I say to people when I meet them, like, who do you support? And if somebody is a football fan, they know exactly what you're on about. They'd be like, I support this team, I support Arsenal, I support Man U, I support Chelsea, support Liverpool. Depending on their response, I'll give them a response. If I hear Man U, I'm like, we can be friends, I guess. But yeah, football is a language in itself and it's also a religion. But like I said, I don't know how the heck I managed to fall in love with this game, which I hated growing up. See what you guys are saying in the comments section. Yeah, absolutely. 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 That's an interesting one because pretty soon, if you look back at that squad, um people will probably start saying stuff like they want to see more Jamaican born players in the team. Hopefully if it ever reaches to that point, it's done so respectfully, because like I've always said, once you put on that famous black, green and gold, you are Jamaican in my eyes. Doesn't matter if you're born somewhere in the diaspora. But I get why some people would say that they want more than 50% of the squad to be of players who are Jamaican born, because obviously that gives players, young girls in Jamaica, that bit of hope to say, you know, I too can be like Kanya Plummer or Bunny, because obviously these are girls that are born on home soil, so therefore it is more relatable for them to say they want to be like them. So I get why people will say that they probably want more than 50% of the squad to be um of players who are Jamaican born. It's also about that element of being authentic, right? Quite often, not saying with the Reggae Girls, but sometimes when you call up players to any national side with players who aren't born in that country, sometimes it's difficult to measure how authentic they are. So they are do they understand the assignment? Are they on the same page? Do they buy into the culture? Do they eat the same food? Do they listen to the same music? This all adds to building culture. It all adds to building morale, collective morale within the team. So it's something that should never be overlooked. So it'd be interesting to see how people look at that team that is currently a work in progress, um to see what's what in the near future. Manchester City. Okay, that's probably something to do with perhaps Raheem Sterling or Sergio Aguero. Oh, Manchester City. He said Manchester City, and the first thing that I thought about was oh God, Newcastle. They're going to be the new Manchester City, aren't they, guys? They're going to be spending big money. Yeah, exactly. It's not about where they. For me, it's like I understand. I'm not going to dispute with people who would say they want the squad to be more than 50%. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. And it's something that is worth consideration. Again, when you're thinking about being authentic, when you're thinking about inspiring the next generation, I get it. But what I don't like is the separation. I don't like the idea of creating a divide by saying, oh, this player is, for example, the Canadian player, the American player, the English player. I don't really like that because I kind of feel like as somebody who's Jamaican born, if you say stuff like that, then you're being a hypocrite to yourself because the national motto is out of many one people. So you should always bear that in mind when you're being critical. Anything you choose. Oh, thank you, Wayne. Thank you. I'm gonna try and give you guys another live at some point this week. But again, please bear with me. As well as my regular content, I'm going to try and get something done for you guys. So I will be back. I wanted to give you guys 30 minutes, and I've done way more than I thought I could give you guys. So thank you to everyone who's tuned in, by the way, guys. Definitely appreciate you, my Tallawahs. Thank you all for your love and support. It definitely does not go unappreciated. I know you, Mr. Chelsea. I know you. Funny enough, when I go to Stanford Bridge, like I tell people this all the time, it's so sad because when I go to what is good for Chelsea, like I've always had a good experience of going to Chelsea as a member of the press team. They've always been quite loving. And it's weird because obviously growing up you hear certain stories about Chelsea, right? In relation to racism. But when you go there, I'm not going to say, oh, because they treat their press team or because they treat me well, that they don't have no issues in relation to said topics. But what I'm basically trying to say is they've actually made me have a little bit of a soft spot for them. And it's irritating because growing up there was no soft spot. So it's weird when you work in football and you go to certain grounds and they treat you well and you kind of end up putting on your professional cap and before you know it you have a soft spot for them. So yeah, I know you, Mr. Chelsea. Warren, you see, Warren, now I'm going to have to block you. Warren, I did not know that you're Mr. Spurs. Mr. Spurs, I'm going to say that you definitely have one of the best stadiums in the world. It is a stunning stadium. That's coming from an Arsenal fan, by the way, Warren. You do have a lovely stadium. And I've been there quite a few times. Last time I was there was for the NFL game, NFL London. You have a lovely stadium. I hope that you've managed to been there, to visit there. I don't know where you are if you're based in London, but I hope you've managed to visit the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yep. Yeah, yes, one. That's what I'm saying. It's such a difficult one. Like, I understand. I'm never going to disagree with someone who says that they want the team to be over 50% of players who are born in Jamaica. I get it. I'm not going to argue with no one on that note. But also, it's all about the best of the best. It's all about who's got the best quality, right? You look at a player like, for example, Nicole McClure, who isn't Jamaican born. She's born in Jamaica, Queens, in the United States. But this was a lady who stood up between the sticks, right, in that decisive penalty shootout to take us to our first ever World Cup. And when you speak to Nicole, she's a player who fully embraces the Jamaican culture. You ask her what's her favorite dish, and I guarantee you she's not saying something that's American. I don't even know if she eats American food. So it's about doing the right type of scouting. It's about bringing in the right players into the team. Nicole will tell you herself that, you know, if she's in the team and players don't know the national anthem, she pull them up to the side politely and say, hey, I realize that you don't know the national anthem. Do you want help? Do you want me to teach you? These are the type of players you need in the team. Yes, she's not born in Jamaica, but she bleeds black, gold, and green. So it's about the right team selection. But I'm like you, I couldn't care less who gets called up to the team, so long as they understand the assignments, respect the flag, and is of superb quality. I don't really care where you're born, to be honest with you. Yeah, and that's it's difficult to judge that one because you won't realize certain things you don't pick up on unless you're in the changing room or unless you're a analyst. So you can kind of sit and watch a game and you say, yeah, this player doesn't believe into whatever we're trying to sell, or this player is only playing for us because their country of birth don't want them. There are times where you can identify it, but also there are things that goes on behind the scenes where I touch on, does this player like the national food? Does this player even know the national dish? That's a bit of a tricky one because you have some people who are born in Jamaica and they don't even know the national dish. So we can't be too critical in that. But do they eat the authentic Jamaican food? Do they listen to our type of music? Do they buy into the culture? Because for me, like, you can't say you want to play for Jamaica but you don't eat Jamaican food. No, because you're not, wherever you're born, if I'm the chef, I'm not feeding you that. You're going to have to just suck it up and eat our type of food. So this is what I'm saying. This is how you have to kind of know the players that you're selecting, but also it has to be players who bleed black, gold, and green. Every sense of the word, not just about your quality. Every sense of the word. Could be the best player in the world, but if you don't want to eat my food and you don't want to sing my national anthem, good luck to you. You can go and wait to play for someone else, but you wouldn't be playing for me. I can tell you that. Tell him one. Tell him. Where's Mr. Warren? Mr. Warren's gone a little bit quiet. Mr. Spurs. You see, one what you got to realize is people can't be perfect. That's what you got to realize, one. You see what Mr. Lewis is saying? Yeah, it is really good to have two experienced players. But I'm going to hold my comments on that particular comment. Let's see. Not many will disagree with you in that regard. Sydney Schneider, outstanding goalkeeper, young as well, young but understands the assignment. Yeah, this is it. One, like, it's difficult. It's so difficult. This is what I'm saying. I'm glad that I'm not a coach because I'll probably be harsh. But you're right. It's about the right characters. But bare minimum, I definitely think that players should know the national anthem. Like, good God, go study the national anthem. And I want you to sing with your heart out as well. I want you to say every word of your chest when you're singing that national anthem. I think we have the best national anthem in the world. But that's just me. But you should know your country's national anthem. If you're playing for your country, you got to know your country's national anthem. Yeah, this is what it comes down to as well, Lewis, where I touched on profile. Profile definitely matters. What are you doing week in, week out? Tough decisions to make because nobody's going to sit here and deny Sydney Schneider's quality and what she brings to the team. But obviously, playing games for your respected clubs, that has to count for something, right? But then again, like, you could flip the script, Lewis, and you could say, do we have a set way of doing things in terms of call ups? No, we don't, because both on the men's side and on the women's side, we've often seen that we've given call ups to players who don't currently play for a club, and more often than anything, these players go in the starting 11. So whilst I agree with your comment, you could easily have somebody flip it on you and say, but what about players who don't play for a club and still receive a call up? But I definitely understand your point. It's a very good point. But yeah, it's so, like I said, I'm not a coach. I'm glad I'm not in that position, because what do you do? But I'll leave that to the coaches, the coaching department. All that done, like, yeah, we are out of many one people. Like I said, you cannot call yourself Jamaican and you're segregating the players. You cannot. You don't have the right to say out of many one people then, because what is out of many one people? You look at the Reggae Girlz squad and it says out of many one people, right? With the long list of diversity, that is out of many one people. Arguably the most diverse national football team in the world, right? So it's not right to separate the two. I am well. How are you? I am well. I hope you're having a good evening. Let me check my time. What is the time? I hope you're having a lovely evening. Hope your dinner went down well. The best in the world, and nobody can never tell me that we don't. We have the greatest national anthem in the world. I listen to some anthem and I think, whoever wrote that definitely couldn't care less. Yeah, tough choice. Everybody has a soft spot for young Sydney Schneider, isn't it? Amazing talent. Travis, big up yourself, guys. If you have a moment, please head over to Believe Baller for your latest highlights, video highlights of the reggae boys from across the diaspora. So that's in Jamaica and across the rest of the globe. Believe Baller, they put up bite-sized content on Instagram. They also have content on YouTube as well. One of my favorite pages. So please do head over to Believe Baller and check them out. Please do. Good guys. Is the basic and a bit of our history. You become a Canadian, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Warren. Exactly. When I was being naturalized to become a British citizen, I had to learn their national anthem. I had to know the history of their country. Same goes for any player who plays for the national team, whether that's track and field, football, whatever it may be. You should know the national anthem. 100% know your national anthem. That's something that's definitely has to be ticked, in my opinion. It's a beautiful, and it makes me emotional as well. I swear to you, that anthem makes me emotional. I'll start crying. Love the national anthem. Yeah. And I was saying earlier, Travis, that that's an area that we need to like sharpen up as well, the midfield and also the defense, because there's a bit of chop and change going on at the moment with the midfield and the defense, isn't there? One, I'm not gonna let them people deport me or tell me some I can't come back into them country now. So let me get rid of this comment. Do I disagree with one? I think you guys know my response. You're welcome, Travis. Likewise, thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. It goes both ways. Top it off with the boom. I see some people saying that they don't do that no more. Why? Why you guys don't do the boom no more? You can't sing that national anthem without doing the boom. You have to do the boom. Come on. Like, let's stick to the script. Absolutely, absolutely, Travis. Absolutely. Male or female, once you can play, you should definitely be donning the black, gold, and green. No two ways about that. Guys, I've got another 5 minutes with you before I have to love you and leave you and try to enjoy the rest of my evening. Might see if I can grab something to eat as well and have a little drink before heading off to bed. So run those questions to me, guys. Let me know what's on your mind. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the football, could be something could be something random. Really, King Jav? Really? Why? Tell me, educate me. Because I've just seen it just as a boom. I never really read nothing much into it. So educate me, please, because I really don't know. Yes, it can. Yes, like you're going to war. It's like you are going to war. That can boost you up. That don't get you excited. I don't think nothing will. Yep. I saw that. I'm surprised they actually know how to win things. I'm not even going to hold my breath with them, Travi. I'm not holding my breath with them, Travis. I'll leave them to do their thing. I don't get carried away with those guys. Yes, she is young. She's nowhere near her prime. Nowhere near our prime. For that, yeah, for that USA game. Oh God, yeah. It's needed. The 12th man is needed in physical form. No doubt. So guys, I've got a couple more minutes left with you all, and then I have to love you and leave you. And I will schedule another watch along at some point. Don't be afraid to like drop me a suggestion of what you guys want me to talk about, and we can look into that. But I've just got a couple more minutes with you all, and then I'll close off on the stream. But thank you so much to everyone who has tuned in so far, everyone who's hit the like button. Wow, 44 of you have hit the like button. Thank you. 20 of you watching and 44 of you have hit the like button. That's saying something. Thank you for that. Thank you for blessing me with your time, taking time out of your evening, your early morning, or your afternoon to sit and watch me talk rambling on at times about different stuff. So definitely thank you for blessing me with your time. Mr. Ian, how are you, sir? I hope you're having a good afternoon or a fantastic evening. I hope dinner tastes good as well. You're welcome, Warren. You're welcome. You are absolutely welcome. Also, guys, don't forget to check out my Instagram as well. So before I was like plugging away on YouTube, my main thing was to do those contents on Instagram. Like I've said, I've slowed down a bit just because of my planning, personal planning, like stuff to do with my family. I've slowed down a little bit because things have been a little bit heavy and busy over the last couple of weeks. So I've slowed down with my content creation in that regard on Instagram, but I will be taking it back up shortly. So be patient with me, guys, and thank you all for your support. Let's see. Mr. Spurs, about to call you Mr. Chelsea there. Don't bite my head off with that one, Warren. But thank you for your lovely comment. Please do a video about the fans and vibes at the national. Okay, I'll write that down on my notes. Let me see. So you're saying, you know what? Let me just take a picture of this rather than writing it down. The picture is a lot quicker. Sorted. Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. We can definitely talk about that. There's plenty to talk about the fans actually. So yeah, we can do that. I will most certainly consider those ideas. Guys, I've got another minute left with you, and then I'm going to close the stream. If you have anything to say, then please swing your comments by me, and I will provide you with a response. If I don't have a response right now, I will look into it, do my research, and then come back with something for you. I know One's having a good day because his team has beaten Leeds. I see it, Mr. Eddie Nketiah and Chambers, Callum Chambers on the score sheet. Runners as well. I take it Chelsea are through. The Blues, the boys in Blues. I take it that they're through as well in the Carabao Cup. Could you please talk about the potential? Of course I can. Let me take a picture of that as well. Of course I can. Can most certainly do that for you. So guys, I've been on here for 1 hour and 44 minutes, almost 1 hour and 45 minutes. Havana Salone, Lee, you're talking about? Yes, she is. She's still a I have to pause for a second there. Let me see what. Yes, he is. Yes, he is a Arsenal fan. Who do you support, Ian? Before I go, please don't tell me that you're Mr. Chelsea, like Warren. We can only deal with like Spurs. Warren is a Spurs. Runners is Chelsea. And I know I've got a couple of Man United fans there as well. So Mr. Mackenzie is a Manchester United fan. No, I've got a couple more of you. There's always seem to be loads of Man U fans no matter where you go. They're just everywhere. Not that I mind. I kind of feel like Man U and Arsenal are like football cousins, just love to hate each other, just for banter at times. So let me see if Ian has responded. Warren, my apologies. Spurs. Warren is Spurs, and I know Runners is Chelsea. Mr. Mackenzie, Travis Mackenzie. I know that he's Manchester United. You're most welcome. No problem at all. You are most welcome. TJ, you go and get your beauty sleep, sir. Thank you for tuning in, and I will most certainly be speaking to you guys again in due course. I will remember. See, there we go. You see, I know you guys are everywhere. Everywhere. You Manchester United fans. I'm not gonna go too hard on you guys because your manager is already doing that. So Wayne is Liverpool. Okay. It's getting spicy. Liverpool. So we're looking at the original top 4. So what's that? Chelsea, Arsenal, Man U, Liverpool. That's the original top 4, guys. That's the way I like it. And Manchester City. Somebody said they support Manchester City. I feel like it was TJ that said TJ is Man U. Someone said they support City. I'm sure they did. Ian, you see why I like you? Guys, you see? Now we're talking sense. Now we're talking sense, guys. Let's see the last couple of comments. Squad depth. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Squad depth. I'm going to round this one off to 1 hour and 50 minutes. It's already on 1 hour and... Sorry, guys, I heard some noise. It's already on 1 hour and 47 minutes. So I'm just going to round that off for you guys and give you guys 3 minutes, and then we will close off. It's one of the weirdest things of like coming on like live stream. Like, you guys make me not want to stop talking. It's different when you do a premiere because obviously it's pre-recorded and you can just comment in the comment section. But this one, yeah, there's always a lot of talking going on. My Gunners, my Tallawas and my Gunners, my Red Devils as well, my Blues from Chelsea, you'll never walk alone from Liverpool, all you guys, massive love and respect to you all. Thank you for your endless support. It definitely doesn't go unnoticed. Maybe in the next stream we can probably talk a little bit more about some club football. I don't think we've done that yet. It'd be interesting to talk about club football with you guys. He was saying Gunners for life. No other way. You're doing things right. But probably not right health-wise. Because geez, I don't know who in their right mind will continue to support Arsenal. But what does that say about us that we're still calling ourselves Gunners? Like we don't respect our health. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So, guys, we've just got under a minute to go. Now, it's true though. Sometimes I have to wonder about myself. Do I not respect my health? So calling myself a gooner? Like seriously? You don't worry about that. If anything's going to take you out, it's definitely Arsenal. 100% Arsenal. You have to have a strong heart to support certain teams these days because they take you to an early deathbed if it's down to them. But it also says a lot about you if you're still supporting your team after decades of disappointment. Does that say anything about your loyalty as a person? I think it probably does. Just got another 15 seconds to go, guys. So I'll wrap this one up. Just want to say a massive thank you to all of you who have stayed locked in with me for close to 2 hours. I can't believe actually almost bring this one to 2 hours. I only wanted 30 minutes. Thank you all for tuning in and listening to me discuss the Reggae Girlz loss. Friendly, international friendly football for freedom it is against Costa Rica. Good game despite the result that ended up being a stalemate at 0-0. As I've said before, the game itself, the scoreline does not reflect the game. Nevertheless, there are plenty of positives there to toy around with leading up to our World Cup qualification. Thank you so much for your endless support. It definitely does not go unnoticed. In the meantime, guys, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button.